Good afternoon. Oh, sorry. All right. Good afternoon. And will be reminding the to time. In this presentation, each team will have 15 minutes to present and 5 minutes for Q&A. Without any further ado, let us begin with the first presentation by Ms. Susilawati and will be moderated by Ms. Oh, you will moderate. You will be the moderator for Ms. Susilawati only.
Okay. All right, Bapak Ibu semuanya, thank you very much for the time. By this time being, we are going to listen presentation from Ibu Susilawati presenting bridging theory and practice, remodeling teaching practice in EFL teacher education curriculum. Ibu Susilawati, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So, Ibu Susilawati, you have 15 minutes for presentation, and
Right.
there will be 5 minutes in the end for question and answer.
Okay.
All right. Enjoy your time.
Thank you. Okay. Can you she has very good quotes saying that no one should teach. A professor, American professor of faculty of education from her name is Linda Darling Hammond and Berry, 1998. They said that teachers are the heart of educational improvement because they can inspire students to learn. So even though this is a very old, a reference, but I think it's still, applied in this 21st century. And when we look at what happened nowadays, as a teachers to inspire, to have a patience in teaching. So I think we need to have a various skills in promoting lifelong learning opportunities for students and also for the teachers as well. And in the era of 21st century learning, the teachers also need to update their skills to keep up with the demands in the 21st century skills. So having these reasons, we try as one of the teacher educations in Indonesia, we try to think about our curriculum, especially for the teaching practice model, because like the skills that the teachers need or the pre-CPRS teachers need to have not only can be equipped in our campus, they need to go to the schools, they need to get abundant experience. So that's why we need to transform the teaching practice in our curriculum, in our institutions. So the objective of our paper, we would like to explore an alternative model of teaching practice in Indonesia, particularly in our own campus. And then the methodology that we need to have is needs analysis to determine the needs of pre-service teachers in terms of teaching practice. And again, the results that we found is that we, we seek for the alternative model, which is concurrent model. And then it turns out that concurrent teaching practice provides abundant opportunities to put the theory into practice. So why is this module can provide abundant opportunities to put the theory into practice? So I would like to share the experience about what we have done in our campus regarding concurrent model itself. So I'd like to share one of the framework that we use from Feynman Amser. This is the book that she wrote, Teachers as Learners. So in this book, she shares a lot of ideas on how teachers should be lifelong learners, that learning to teach is a lifelong process. And she mentioned that there are 3 phases of central task, pre-service, inductions, and continuing professional development. So even though we are working in service teachers, we also need to have continuing professional development. So that's what she proposed in her book. So I would like to focus only on central task during pre-service program. So she came up with 5 proposals here, 5 ideas that as a pre-service teachers, we need to make sure that our pre-service teachers should examine belief critically in light of good teaching visions. And they also need to gain subject matter expertise in preparations for teaching and gain a better knowledge of learners, learning and issues of diversity, and create an initial repertoire and develop the skills and attitudes needed to study teaching. And in her book on page 108, she highlights this central task of pre-service programs are built upon current reflection. So we focus, on reflections on what teachers need to know and care about or be able to do to promote substantial learning of all students. So if we look at this central task that the pre-service teachers need to have during their pre-service program, so we realize that we are not able to provide these central tasks if they only have the theory in campus. They need to have more practice. They need to see the real classroom setting. So that's why we want to transform this teaching practice in our pre-service program. We also try to look at the practice that or concurrent teaching practice from some countries, some EFL countries. And I would like to share one of the teaching practice done by Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. If you see here, they have like 5-year study, 5 year of study of teaching teacher educations. And in year 2 and year 3, they have professional teaching practice 1 and 2. And then they also have a professional teaching practice 4 in year 5. So it means that the teaching practice are not done only in the final year of the study of the pre-service teachers. So again, having the framework from Neiman Hamster, and then we look at from the other countries, EFL countries. So we came up with a framework that we called as the School Experience Program. So here, the School Experience Program, or SCP, we try to focus on the 5 central tasks as the learning outcomes for our teaching practice. So what you can see here, the teaching practice or the School Experience Program are then since semester 1 until semester 8. So if you look at the notes here, yeah, we try to look at, like for example, in semester 1 and semester 2, they can examine belief critically in relation to visions of the teaching, even though this is the beginning understanding. Throughout the year, we expect them to build their understanding on how or what is the teaching philosophy or good teaching, what is a good teaching to them. So all these transfer tasks, try to be fulfilled since semester 1 to semester 8. Of course, we are not expecting them to have a teaching practice in semester 1 because they haven't got the pedagogy skill yet. So what they do in semester 1 is they just observe the class, and gradually they will become an assisting teacher assistant, and they will have collaboration teaching, and then after that they can have individual teaching. This is the hours that they have for the school experience program. In year 1, they have 12 hours in each semester to conduct school experience program where they just focus on observing the classrooms. And then the second year, they can be a teacher assistant, and they can stay longer in this school or the school in the partner school, like for example, like 20 hours. And then in year 3, they gradually, build, longer time there, 25 hours in each semester. They can collaborate. They can become, team teach. They can team teach with the school or mentor teach, or maybe with their own peers. So they cannot teach individual yet, because they're still in year 3, but in year 4, they can have independent teaching. And then if you see here, the hours are getting longer, 40 hours in semester 7, and semester 8, they have 80 hours because in semester 8, they don't have any more course to take. So, of course, we have the essence of the school experience program. We want them to put the theory into practice. So that's what we aim for. So having that in mind, we want to have the courses that we want to embed in each semester. So if you see here, in semester 1, they will have foundations of teaching and learning to be embedded in SCP. In the second year, they have planning, assessment, and evaluations. Third year, they will have TEFL 2, social emotional learning in semester 4, and semester 5, they have curriculum and material development. The semester 6, they have advanced educational technology. Semester 7, they have micro teaching to be embedded in the SCP. And again, for the internship program, they can have it in in school experience program. So they can stay like approximately 2 months in schools. So maybe this is something that I can share with the audience, with you all. Yeah. And if I can conclude for this concurrent model for experience program, from our experience, we think that this concurrent model, our school experience program, can provide for pre-service each semesters, the experience, and we can have course embedded in each semester to to provide students with opportunity to put the theory into practice. And of course, they can have, build their reflection skills to make them as a lifelong learners. Thank you, and I appreciate for your questions and comments. Thank you.
Susilawati. explaining about your curriculum in your study program to put the courses, especially for the practices,
Yes.
embedded in several courses, right? Subjects, yeah. Mata
Yeah.
kuliah in Indonesian language. Okay, right.
Mhm.
So by the way, how many credits? So what are the credits for these courses? So embedded courses, around 7 courses. So what are the total credits for it?
The credits is for each course is only we have three credits for each course.
Oh, very good. Oh, very good. All right. So it means around 21 or more than 21 credits for
More
the
than
total
20.
credits.
Yeah.
All right. I see. All right. So we invite questions as already mentioned by Bu Susilawati. So anybody wants to ask more, yeah, related to the topics being presented? Excuse me, Bu Susilawati.
Yeah.
Now we are working on MBKM curriculum or
Mhm.
program like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you just consider those courses into MBKM program? MBKM program. So when the students go to schools and they are considered into what is it, magang, right? Or asistensi mengajar,
Yeah.
begitu ya? Oh, I see. That's very nice. Good design,
Thank you.
especially to facilitate this MBKM, yeah, relearning. All right. Questions? I think there is no question.
Mia.
Hannah, do you have any question for Bu Susilawati?
Well, I think Ms. Susilawati's explanation is complete and clear.
All right. Okay. Bu
I
Susilawati, thank you very
think
much for
that's
your
from there's a
presentation, for your
question. I mean, like
sharing.
Mia's raising hand. Ibu Mia, is it Miss Mia or? Sorry, I couldn't
Mia.
see your face.
Okay,
I
Mia,
would like
please.
to ask about the implementation of the curriculum that has been.
Your voice
because
cannot.
it is- Oh yeah,
It's not
I
very
would like
clear.
I would like to ask about the curriculum and the feedback from the students that has. I would like to ask about the feedback. Is there any is there any positive feedback from the students, or is there any things that needed to be improved from the implementation of the curriculum?
All right. It will be curriculum evaluation. Is there any feedback from the students related to the practices when they go to schools? Yeah, to the curriculum design. What are the students' comments? Yeah, Ibu Susilawati, please.
Sorry. Is it like your question is what is the curriculum evaluation?
What are the students' feedback? Yeah,
Yes,
I just tried to.
maybe like after the curriculum has been implemented, like what was found there, like what is the positive stuff that's found, and then what are the negative stuff that needs to be improved.
If you don't mind, Miss Mia, maybe you could. I'm sorry. I think I have maximized the volume, but still I couldn't hear you well. If you don't mind, maybe you could just write the questions. I will answer it. Through the chat box, because I think time's almost up. Yeah, for me.
Okay. Yeah. That's all, Hannah. I just give it back to you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Susilawati. And will be moderated by Ms. Susilawati.
I would like to invite Ms. Fidelis from Indonesian EFL teachers.
Sulawati. I would like to share the screen first.
Yes, we can.
Can you see my screen? Afternoon, Bapak dan Ibu. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. My name is Fidelis Elandra University, a student from Sanata Dharma University, and I would like to present my research entitled Perceived Impact of Future Professional Development Programs, Voices from Indonesian EFL Teachers. And in this presentation, I would like to cover 4 main things, starting from the background of the research, and then the methodology, the results and discussion, and conclusion and research significance. So, as we know that nowadays, the dynamics of education keep shifting, and the demands to prepare the students with the 21st century skills and competencies have intensified. Therefore, more sophisticated and complex ways of teaching are highly required. And one of the ways to support the increasingly complex skills that the students need to master in the 21st century context is by encouraging the teachers to engage in the effective professional development. Why? Because through this process, the teachers can continuously refine and improve their teaching practice, their knowledge, their pedagogy to meet the intended demand. However, the majority of our teachers in Indonesia still perceive TPD activities merely as a top-down process, which means that the TPDs are still treated as obligatory program carried out and organized by the government or formal educational institution. And as a result, as noted by previous research, revealed that due to the top-down process, a lot of formal types of TPDs are considered to be less effective and impactful because it was mostly compulsory for the teacher without considering each teacher's individual needs, interests, and goals. Despite the growing interest on TPDs, research that represent the voices of local EFL teachers in terms of their perception of TPD in different regions in Indonesia, especially where top-down activities are still prevalent, remain underrepresented. Therefore, it is very important to conduct research on this area to fill the gap. And also, I hope that through this research, I can channel teachers' voices, especially EFL junior high school teachers in Cirebon, about their experiences in undertaking various TPD programs, and derive from that impacts on developing in-service EFL teacher professionalism and the challenges faced by in-service EFL teachers in Cirebon in undertaking the formal TPD activities. So this descriptive qualitative research utilized 2 instruments, the questionnaire, which is divided into 2 types, the closed-ended and also open-ended, and the interview. Due to the Google form to distribute the questionnaire and also utilize Zoom conference to conduct the interview. And this research was conducted from March to undertaking various TPD programs, I would like to know what types of TPD activities or programs that those teachers have already undertaken all these times. And here the participants can mention and also can choose more than one types of TPD activities. And from the diagram, it is obvious that webinar followed by seminar and workshop become the most popular and widely available TPD activities that the participants engage in. And also, there's quite interesting fact that webinar became the most popular TPD showed that there is a shift of trends of TPD from on-site seminars to digitalizing teacher professional development in the form of webinars as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. And quite different result actually emerged from the open-ended questionnaire in which one of the participants here argued that even though webinar and seminars are quite popular and widely available, but this participant preferred workshop as a TPD activity because it gave her opportunity to know the theory and also to implement the theory directly. So it provides direct practice. And meanwhile, the research also revealed that classroom action research or CAR and community of interest became the least favored TPD activities undertaken by the participants. And the plausible reason for this is that the two types of TPDs require the teachers to invest more time or energy, resources, and also effort. That's type of TPDs that the teachers in junior high school teachers in Cirebon have undertaken. And the researcher further explored how far TPD activities improve teachers' professional development based on their perception. And from 4 aspects, as you can see on the screen, it was found that self-efficacy, attitudes, and beliefs became the aspects that the teachers perceived to be the most developed as a result of undertaking various TPD programs all these times. And it is strengthened from the interview. One of them stated that she perceived that there is improvement in belief and ability, especially in helping students with learning difficulties to value and optimize their learning. Because the skills are incredibly relevant in today's world as more students are diagnosed with physical, mental, or learning disabilities. And the second aspect that the participants view to be developed was reflective competence. And from the interview, it is found that reflective practice has been ubiquitously implemented in education as a means to evaluate and improve teachers' classroom practice. And various TPD programs have emphasized this practice. Even the school in which the participant thought implements reflection as a habit. And we usually have daily self-reflection and weekly reflection in the form of FGD with other teachers who teach the same subject. So it's very obvious that reflection or reflective habit has been deeply ingrained by those teachers. And the third aspect that the participants perceive to be developed is classroom practice and instructional skills. So as you can see on the screen, one participant expect that by joining various TPD programs, he can make more engaging learning module and interesting classroom activity. But he was lack of creativity to make the activities more interactive and that he improve his ICT skills. This ICT skill, especially since the post-pandemic era requires the teachers to be more in the researcher to investigate the challenge which include excessive workload as a teacher. As we know, the teacher had already a lot of administrative work, even outside of the teaching responsibility, and time constraint or mismatched schedule, limited choices of TPD programs that were not in accordance with teachers' interests, the mismatch between teachers' needs and what the program offered, limited access and information about the programs, and finally, less effective programs duration. In this case, some of them mentioned that some of the TPD program that they have already experienced, like I mean the materials were very compact. It's like cramped, and the duration was not effective for them to. So from the research, there are two major big takeaways that can be drawn. The first, that TPD activities that the participants have undertaken all these times help them to improve their self-efficacy, their attitudes, beliefs, reflective competence, classroom practice, and instructional skills, and teacher knowledge and skills. And the second thing that I would like to highlight here is that based on teacher perception, they can say effective and motivating TPD activities are those that first involve teachers to actively participate in producing great applicable results, get in the discussion and practicing the theory. So they perceive that passively listening to lecture without really in the discussion is not really motivating for them. And practical and applicable. So teacher also mentioned from the interview that they encounter various problems in teaching learning context. So they hope that by joining various TPD programs, they can get more insights in terms of maybe ICT skills or maybe technological tools or methods that are practical for them to solve those problems. And the last is provide. Yeah, thank you. Provide continuous follow-up assistance. Here, they think that one day program with cramp material is not really effective. They hope that they are still assisted. Their progress are monitored and they can access help and resources that will help them through the process of progressing their skills and competence. And so this research, I can say that from this research, first stakeholders and policymakers during the funding of this study as one of sources of future programs that would give positive impacts on EFL teachers in Indonesia, especially in this context in Cirebon. And also, English teachers can also benefit from the research to know how benefits to refine their professional development that hopefully can motivate them in joining future TPDs. And the last is future researchers, especially for those who are interested in conducting research in this area. The researcher expect that further studies can cast light. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me finish the last. Okay, cast light on different realization of the components of TPD perceived impact and exploring the alignment between teachers' perception of TPD and their classroom practice. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you for attention. I will give the time to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Fidelis. Okay, this is insightful presentation. Yes, I inviting now the audience to have questions or comments. Who is this? Rachel, actually?
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Rachel.
Yeah. Thank
I'm
you
sorry
for.
if I mispronounce your name.
Yeah. Thank you. So it is interesting that we can know the teachers in Cirebon regarding their perceptions of TPDs. I would like to ask a question out of my curiosity. Why Cirebon? Is there any consideration why you choose the participants? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rachel.
Oh.
Yes, maybe, yeah, you can answer that.
Okay, I will answer that directly. Thank you. Miss Rachel. So yeah, in this research, I use purposive sampling method. And as I have mentioned previously that there are 25 English teachers from various junior high schools associated with MGMP in Cirebon. Why I chose the participants. First of all, they belong to the same teacher association, in this case MGMP in Cirebon. So this I expect that they have already undertaking various TPD activities and programs, and I also expect to get richer and nuanced data regarding teachers, prospective teachers' experiences related to various TPD programs that they have already taken. And then the second consideration, why Cirebon? So it's actually related to accessibility reason. So I happen to be an English teacher in one of the private junior high school in Cirebon until last year. So I basically know a little bit the context of Cirebon, and also therefore I could get access to those teachers. And after I saw the gap in the literature, I found that the voices of teachers, especially in Cirebon, have not really represented. So I think it can be a good way to voice their opinions, their perception regarding this particular issue. So I hope that will answer your question, Miss Rachel.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Fidelis.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have 2 minutes if we still have questions. No questions. Okay. Again, thank you, Ms. Fidelis, for the presentations, and I hope this can be another reference, yeah, for about teacher professional development and talking about self-efficacy. That's aligned with our previous plenary speakers. Era. Okay. I give time the Zoom link meeting again to Miss Hannah. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you,
Alright.
Bu Susilawati.
All right, thank you very much for Miss Ellen and Miss Susilawati for the presentation and for being the moderator. All right, last but not least, let's move to the last presentation, which will be presented by Mr. Yohanes Heri Pranoto and will be moderated by Miss Fidelis. Ellen, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Hannah. So, good afternoon, Bapak Ibu. I will be moderating the third presentation in this parallel session. And the third presentation is entitled Ecological Content Analysis in bulky, skillful reading and writing. I hope I do not mispronounce that. That will be delivered by Bapak Yohanes Heri Tananoto and Miss Viwen Veslevin Lee from Musikaritas Catholic University, Indonesia. So Bapak Yohanes and Ibu Viwen Ves, the time is yours.
Thank you, Bu Eleni, for the time given to us to present our paper. I just want to share screen. Is it okay? Asking permission. All right. First of all, for Ibu Eleni, I have no suggestion on how to pronounce this name. Yeah, I have no suggestions on how to pronounce this name. Whether it is Borki or Borkus.
I actually have tried to Google it, but still can't find.
Same as me, right? But I have a suggestion on how to pronounce my partner's name. All right, Bapak Ibu semua, my partner, because she is a student, undergraduate student. She is now in Palembang for several reasons. So I present my ecological content analysis in POHCUS, a skillful writing. I don't want to who doesn't know the one, right? I think some of you are already familiar with this word ecology. And ecology now is already embedded in the current curriculum for educations nowadays. When you go, for example, in elementary schools or senior high schools or junior high schools, so they have their own focus or concern on education, or sorry, on ecology or something related with an environment, educational environment, or any terms they use for ecology concerns. So it is not something like ecology is something related, something for or in our field, especially in education. So that's why it has become a general evidence that the installation of ecological values intensively and thoroughly to students again and again. So I think that it becomes very proof for nowadays, in nowadays era like that, that ecology is concerned for education, in education. One of the ecological motion media is through textbooks. So I just highlight these textbooks because my concern, my focus is on the books analysis, so textbooks analysis by the students. Actually, I do not want to, memperjelek kampung halaman saya sendiri begitu ya, Palembang. But I just want to say that it's exactly part of Palembang City. So we have a lot of rivers there, banyak sungai di sana, anak sungai juga begitu. And it seems like some of the people, some in Palembang, are accustomed to say, throw the garbage to the river. It becomes something like a habit to them. When I come to Palembang, I see some people just passing by near the river, and they just throw the garbage to the river, into the river. So that becomes something like touching, something like why it happens in Palembang City. So there should be something that we can do together to improve this or to solve this problem related to I can say the culture or the habits of the people there related to this. And as a result, you can see here, titik banjir di Palembang. Palembang is famous for its flood gitu. So there are several areas that are when we had rain around 2 hours, hard rain, and the areas are flooded. Yeah. So seems like what is it? Floods has become eventual, something like eventual. So when we have a hard rain, and there will be floods everywhere. But in the previous or in the past, sorry, in the past, Palembang was well known as Venice from East. So here is Venice in Italy. But right now, what's happening is like this. So what is it? How do you say kumuh in English? So a lot of garbage near the the rivers, and it becomes, what is it? Something like can bother our views, the views in Palembang City. The purpose of the study is to present an analysis of ecological content on reading materials and instructions. So I just want to focus on the reading materials, the reading passages, on the readings there, and instructions on a book entitled Skillful Reading and Writing Book. Compulsory student book. So I use this book or as a compulsory student book in critical reading and writing 1 course. Beyond this purpose, so actually, what is it? Actually, you can see the picture. So later on, the purpose of this research or this study is to, let's say, to give change of society related to how, well, what they can do related to their awareness on their own environment. They can do something, yeah, related to their society, to their environment near their house, for example, near them. So this is exactly what becomes my proposals by this topic. So the method I use is I implemented qualitative descriptive research with document study. So this is by my document. So here's the book, everyone. Let me know. Just raise your hand if you use or you ever, what is it? That your teacher or your friends use this book, Skillful Reading and Writing. Anybody? Oh no. Okay. Reading materials and instructions are on analysis from this aspect. There were 5 aspects I've been evaluated by for its instruction and reading. First is appreciation of nature. The second is realistic ecological problems. The third is positive tone, appropriate illustrations, and the last is hope for solution. Here is the description for its category. First is nature appreciation. So nature appreciation assesses the degree to which the book depicts beauty and harmony in nature, answers the question, what is the beauty of nature? Second is realistic ecology problem. By presenting an ecology problem in a realistic manner without oversimplifications or exaggerations, the effect of human choice on the situation is clear, answers the questions, what is it? How does it work? The third is positive tones. To emphasize being effective in solving the problem rather than assigning blame or being right. Positive and appropriate behaviors are emphasized, and the tone doesn't induce fear. The fourth is appropriate illustration, to assess the degree to which illustrations enhance the text. Illustrations, yeah. Answers the question, do illustrations complement and enhance the text? Or illustration, sorry. Or illustration and photographs appealing, do illustrations move to the story forward? And the last category is hope for a solution. So to assess to what degree books convey a feeling of hope for viable solutions to the problem. Answer the question, is there hope for a solution? So by those categories, but by those categories, the reading texts are being evaluated. The next is here's the result and discussion. So I just I'm presenting this. The first is I just want to let you know the reading passages, the titles. Start from Are You a Natural Reader? So the hero within, A Matter of Time, What Is It? Home is Where the Heart Is, and so on and so forth, until Leave It for the Robot. So those readings are in that book here. In that book, so I just want to evaluate each reading by its appreciations, its contents, on the appreciation of nature. The second is realistic ecological problems, positive tones, the positiveness of it. And then the next is appropriate illustrations. The last is there any possible solutions given by the book related to the problems being presented in the text. All right, so those for each category is like, what is it, evaluated or assessed in terms of 5 points. 5 means like very good until 1. So by this table, I try to give you several, what is it, several points that I already got. So I cannot just explain it one by one. So you can see, so the lowest score is 2 and the highest score is 5. All right. So, but this book is not actually concerned, does not actually concern on ecology, because it is a critical reading and writing book. So I just try to find out in the preface or some some parts of the book. I cannot find out that this book really concerns on ecology, but I just want to know that since this book is critical reading and writing, and I just want to connect what I can do by this book to connect between the materials to the students' environment. So that's why I see when I use this book, I see that those readings are almost related to environment. There are some, even I know, and I just confess it, some topics or some reading topics are not really even have a close relationship to ecology. Here's the reading book. Here's the, what is it, table of the contents. So, and here is some examples for example, like on the, what is it, evaluations. The title is What Time Is It? So this is the history of a clock. Oh, sorry, the history of clock there. Sejarah jam. So there is no relationship, a close relationship to what is it, ecology. But later on, there will be some, what is it, further instructions that the students or the teacher can use to just connect this to the student's environment. The next is highest score. The text is Fuel of the Sea, Fuel of the Sea. So about krill, krills, shrimp. So it is related to environment. And the next is like Super Survive. It is also related to environment. And the next is Gardening 380 kilometers above the Earth, above Earth. It's also related to the environment. So by the conclusion, so the content analysis results passages in the book treat the natural environment. Of the 5 ecological aspects, they could be sorted according to the degree of quantity, namely positive tones, 50%, appreciation of nature, 50%, or sorry, 50, so 5, appreciation of nature, 5, realistic ecological problems, 3, stress and 3, and hope for solution, 2. However, not all the selected readings are supplemented with learning instructions leading to real action. Here's suggestions. Teachers should make purposefully instructional adjustment to students' conservation practices. So later on, the text should be equipped with several instructions that can lead the students to real teach to the actions. I think that's all for my presentation. I will be happy to have some questions and suggestions from the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bapak Yohanes, for a very insightful presentation. I learned a lot, especially it's very relevant and it's very crucial for teachers to teach and also lecturers to pick the appropriate reading materials, and it's very relevant in today's context, especially in global pandemic context and also global warming context, because all those things also related to ecological issue. And I would like to open question and answer session. Feel free to use the raise hand feature or simply unmute yourself to ask the question.
Or might be
Oh.
anyone wants to have a in schools. Is it okay? Ibu, for example, Ibu Fidelis, Ibu Ellen, pernah mengalami teaching ecology or just to connect the materials taught to the students?
Not really. Actually, Pak, I only had 2 years of teaching experience as a junior high school English teacher, but right now I am continuing my study. So yeah, so I actually do not really have a lot of experience, but I agree that it's very important to appropriately choose reading materials here. And actually, Pak, we have a question here from Bapak Surya Asra. The analysis from the chat, the analysis based on eco methodology or theories, or there is another theory. Please, Pak Yohanes, if you would like to answer.
All right. I just want to read the questions again. The analysis based on eco methodology or eco theories, or there is another theory being used by that I used for my research here. Thank you very much for the question, Pak Surya Asra. Let me try to answer it. Just let me know later on whether what I say do or does answer your question or not. So, as already mentioned before, I try to analyze the text or the passages being used or in these textbooks, in this book, in terms of these 5 categories, 5 aspects. The first is appreciation of nature. The second is realistic ecological problems, positive tone, appropriate illustrations, hope for a solution. And this is taken from the theory by Asra. I just want to share this. I just want to text it. Does it appear in my screen? No. Wait. Sebentar ya. I do not put any references in my slides. Wait. All right. Wait. It makes you wait so long. Rule and Atkinson in 1994. I just want to copy and paste it here. Okay. All right. And I just take these 5 aspects to analyze the textbook, and these aspects were introduced by Rule and Atkinson in 1994. The title is Rule and Atkinson. The title is
All right, time is up.
Okay, so thank you, Pak Yohanes. I would like to give the opportunity, the time to Hannah.
All right, thank you very much for Ms. Vitalis and Mr. Johannes Pranoto.
this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we have finished our parallel session 2. After this, please kindly this breakout room and return to the main room for the plenary session. Thank you very much for the fruitful discussion.
Thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank you.
See you when I see you.
Thank you.